Alright guys, in this one, we're going to use the draw a picture strategy. The big idea is probability and also equivalent fractions, decimals, and percents. So let's draw a picture of the spinner. Okay, so there's the spinner, there's the center. We want to have sections A, B, C, D, and E, so 5 sections. So we're going to have to make 5 equal spaces on the spinner. Okay, so when I cut a circle into fifths, I try to imagine a person doing jumping jacks. Like this is the head, the arms, and the legs. And I try to get 5 equal sections. Okay, so we've got sections A, B, C, D, and E. Alright, so what is the probability that the spinner is going to land in D, A, or C? So here's how I'm going to kind of show a picture of what that looks like and also talk about equivalent fractions, decimals, and percents. Let's kind of lightly shade in the sections D, A, and C. So here's section D, there's A, and here's C. Alright, now when you talk about probability, you're talking about a ratio, and a ratio could be expressed as a fraction, a ratio of how many ways you could have the event, the outcome that you're looking for versus the total amount of outcomes. So the outcome that we're looking for is that it lands on D, A, or C. So how many ways could it land on D, A, or C? Well, it could land right here, that's one way. Or it could land here, that's another way. Or it could land here, that's a third way. So we've got 3 ways that it could happen that way. Over the total amount of outcomes. How many total outcomes are there? Well, it could have been A, B, C, D, or E. That's 5 outcomes. So it could be 3 out of 5. But we kind of already knew that by looking at the picture, because if you look at this picture, and if the question had been written, what fraction does this picture represent? Well, this picture represents 3/5. So whether it's asking about probability or just what fraction is represented, we get 3/5. However, we need to understand that 3/5 could be written as a decimal or as a percent. All right, so how can we make a fraction into a decimal? A couple different ways. Remember that every fraction is a division problem. So you could do 3 divided by 5, and the answer is going to be 0 point something. So if you complete that division problem, you'd have to add a 0 right there to complete that division problem. And it looks like it's going to be 0.6. And remember, 0.6 could be made into a percent. All you have to do is move the decimal twice. And that equals 60%. So if you have 0.6 or 60%, those are also equivalent to this picture. Another thing you could have done is change the 5 to 10. How do we change the fifths into tenths? Well, you doubled it, so you multiplied by 2. If you multiply the 5 by 2, you've got to multiply the 3 by 2 to double that as well. And you would get this, 6/10, which is the same as 0.6. That's 6/10, which is 60 out of 100. And so there you go. 0.6 is the decimal equivalent of 3/5, which is the probability of landing on either a D or an A or a C.